back with you on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Thanks for joining us here today at Red Wilson Field. I'm alongside Brad Klein. I'm Will Connerly, and Y-D leading 4-1 Jacob Meador. His fifth inning of work. He punched out the side in order in the fourth inning and will face 7, 8, and 9 here in the fifth. No action in the Red Sox bullpen. Pitch upstairs to Caden Trinkle.
And Jacob Meador just 1 out away from going the longest he's gone as a Y-D Red Sox.
Fouled away left side.
And that's a big deal, especially this late in the season for a pitcher to record anything of record, whether that's velocity or innings pitched. And these pitchers are gassed, especially coming from the Big 12. He logged a lot of innings this past year.
Yeah, that's the thing with pitchers. As you get toward the end of a season, you're dealing with some arm injury, some arm pain, some arm soreness, which are all three different things, but just nagging things that can happen with your arm as a pitcher after the season's worth of a workload, which combines the spring and the summer in a very close ball four pitch, not going in favor of Jacob Meador. So the free pass issued to Caden Trinkle, and he's aboard on first base to begin the fifth. And Kenny Lavari, who singled in the third, will hit here. The left-handed hitting third baseman, open stance. He began the third with a single, and the man on deck, Jake DeLeo, he had a single as well. But then after that, Meador was able to retire 3 in a row to end the third and then struck out the side in the fourth. But then walks Trinkle here to begin the fifth and facing Lavari once again. A 3-run advantage for the Red Sox. Lavari from Vineland, New Jersey, Old Dominion University. He's a rising true sophomore. He just turned 19 this past May. A very young player, but he started 56 of the 60 games at third base and hit .298 with 8 home runs, 10 doubles, and 36 runs driven in this past season, along with 49 runs scored. But he goes down right there for strike 3 as Meador gets him out in front of a breaking ball.
This is the best we've seen Jacob Meador, I think, by far. Right at this point, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits, 1 run through 4 1/3. He's doing a great job commanding the zone. Has only issued 1 walk. I really like the way Meador's throwing the ball right now.
A lot to like from the TCU right-hander today. Pitch up and in at Jake DeLeo for ball 1.
And think about this, 45 strikes thrown, 24 balls. He's going to be in front. He's going to be ahead in every count. And at that point, it's just on the hitter to try to catch up.
And with the strikeout of Kenny Lavari, it's a new career high for Jacob Meador. Not just in the Cape this summer, his previous high was 5 strikeouts, but his NCAA career high was 6 strikeouts, coming against Stephen F. Austin when he threw a career-long 6 2/3. This summer, though, Brad, you mentioned it before he got an out in this frame. The longest he had gone was just 4 innings. Now has gone 4 1/3. Cade Hunter throw down to second, tag applied and in time. Chatham is caught again on the base pass, trying to steal second as Cade Hunter pops up, and Caden Trinkle is knocked off the pass for the second out. But Brad, the statistic for Chatham hasn't been very kind. They've now been caught stealing 30 times with 30 stolen bases. A 30-30 ratio. 30 stolen bases and now 30 caught stealing, which by far leads the league. They led the league in 2019 in that category, but it was nowhere near 30, a very high number that is heads and shoulders above anybody else in the league getting caught on the base paths, and that means they're utilizing, they have a lot of attempts, but not always coming up on the successful end, just a 50% success rate.
And it's good on them to be aggressive, but if you're at 50%, you have no business trying to steal.
Pop up right side. Cody Huff, foul territory, but in the stands. And if you put that into perspective, that's more than a game's worth of outs of just caught stealing. 27 outs in a ball game, 30 caught stealing on the season, 10 innings worth. That's pretty eye-popping, but of course, give credit to Cade Hunter behind the plate. A really good throw made Wyatt Hoffman's job easy to apply the tag to Caden Trinkle. And hit to center field by Jake DeLeo, and he gets aboard on first base with a 2-out single here in the 5th. Jake DeLeo is 2 for 2, and he has really been swinging the bat well as of late. The 9th place hitter in the order, but Jake DeLeo has really picked up the pace for the Anglers over the past week. A rising sophomore at Georgia Tech, now has 8 hits over the past 5 games played. Hitting just .214 on the season, but that average has been boosting over the past few contests. As Danny Soretti now digs in here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. DeLeo the runner at first. Jacob Meador trying to go 5 innings for the first time this season. With a new career high 7 strikeouts and just 1 walk. The lone blemish in terms of runs allowed is just a Lyle Miller Green solo home run. That came in the top of the 2nd. And that at the time gave Chatham a 1-0 lead, but Y-D tied it at 1-1 in the bottom of the 2nd. And then they took a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 3rd and tallied 1 more on in the bottom of the 4th and have a 4-1 advantage right now. And here comes the 0-2 to Soretti, popped up left side. Zach Liu back on it at third base, then called off. Brooks Lee is there, and he makes the catch in left center field for the 3rd out. So 3 outs, the side is retired. Jacob Meadors through 5 of 1-run baseball. Y-D leading by 3 on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Jacob Meador has provided Y-D 5 innings and just 1 run allowed. And in the bottom of the 5th, Y-D has the middle of the order up. 2, 3, and 4, Tanner Smith, Brooks Lee, and Cody Huff. Here in the bottom of the 5th, a 3-run advantage for the Red Sox. Here in the penultimate home game of the year, final home game coming up on Wednesday. Host families recognized before today's game. And general manager Steve Fosher threw out the first pitch. Was out there with 23rd year head coach Scott Pickler. As the lefty Adam Tulloch ahead, 0-2 in the count to Tanner Smith. High fastball is taken outside the zone. Tanner Smith had a single in the third and now is on an 8-game hitting streak. He's really swinging the bat well as the season is coming to the end. And Brooks Lee doing the same. He's on deck as Smith stays alive, fouls it back to the screen. So Tanner Smith, he walked in the first, singled in the third, and it's up and in. It comes up and hits Tanner Smith. Oh no, it's called out. Confusing play right there. It appeared as though Tanner Smith thought he was hit as he started to approach first base. However, that wasn't the call that Ryan DeMari had behind the plate. He said that that's going to be strike three, and now he's going to get some chatter from head coach Scott Pickler to ask about what happened in that situation. So the call could have been that, hey, Tanner Smith went around when he appeared as though he got hit, turning the bat, trying to break the plane of the plate. But now he's trying to show some evidence that he did get hit. Maybe is there a seam there to show that, hey, I did get hit in that instance? Would DeMari go change his call from a strikeout to a hit by pitch? And he does change the call. So Tanner Smith whips out the evidence of the seams on his left arm and is able to go to first base. And now an animated Adam Tulloch is asking for an explanation. But it appears as though the call was changed. Tanner Smith to first, and now Brooks Lee to the plate. So there you go. Tanner Smith down, 0-2 in the count. Takes a few pitches, fights one off, and then battles his way to first base. Great plate appearances today from Tanner Smith. He's aboard for the third time. And that brings up Brooks Lee, who hit his 6th home run of the summer last time he was at the plate. But flips around to the right side as the switch-hitting shortstop's been on a tear for the Red Sox as of late. He's on an 8-game hitting streak, but he's hitting above 500 during that span. It's no regular 8-game hitting streak. He has 4 multi-hit games during that 8-game span. 0-1 the count after Tulloch gets ahead of Brooks Lee, with Y-D leading by 3 runs, looking to win their 4th game in a row. Swing and a miss by Lee. And now no balls in 2 strikes, the count. With Tanner Smith at first base, Tulloch kicks, delivers, and Lee goes down on the strikeout for the first out. And that brings up Cody Huff. It appeared as though that was going to be the call on Tanner Smith, a strike 3, but then showed his left arm, took away some of that pre-wrap and said, hey, Ryan DeMar, I actually did get hit, and he went to first base. They changed the call. He's still on first. 1 aboard, 1 out for Cody Huff.
Yeah, well, and as you can imagine,
the pickoff here. Tanner Smith was running on first move. Tag not in time. Smith is safe at second. They say that the tag wasn't applied over by Danny Soretti, the second baseman. Tanner Smith was running on first move. And Mr. Klein, you were mentioning something about Tanner Smith?
As you can imagine, Tom Holliday wasn't very happy, and I was just down by the field. He had some choice words that are not necessarily appropriate for the target demographic of the Y-D Red Sox baseball network, but also said that DeMari was a, quote, politician, or maybe Smith was a politician to convince him that he was hit by the pitch.
Cody Huff fouled away right side. And Cody Huff, speaking of some Red Sox, this offense really gelling right now. Winning 3 in a row, winning 4-1 right now here in the bottom of the 5th. Cody Huff had a really good series in that home-and-home against Hyannis, and He's 0 for 2 today, but really hit the ball hard to left field in his last at-bat in the third inning. And we kind of noticed that there were a few games Cody Huff was 0 for 3, 0 for 4, and we were like, he probably had some of the best at-bats on the team today. And that kind of turned around into that hitting into bad luck, but sticking to hitting the ball hard approach started to fall for him in his 4 for 5, 6 RBI game a few games ago. He grounds out to first base, a 3 unassisted. And that brings up Chase Luttrell.
And Tanner Smith advances to third. It was a high chopper. Huff almost had a base hit there. It was so high and almost went over the head of Nolan McLean. He had a chance at it, but to no avail. So that just continues your bad luck point.
And that happens in the game of baseball, especially with players and their batting average. That luck a lot of times evens out, and a lot of hitters will say, hey, if I'm hitting the ball hard consistently, there's going to be days where I'm 0 for 3 with 3 lineouts, and those are the 0 for 3s that they would rather have, because that's showing that they're having success at the plate. Because you hear all the time, 3 out of 10, okay, you're a really good hitter, but if on the other 7 at-bats, if you're not being competitive, you're not going to get 3 hits in those at-bats, as Chase Luttrell goes down via the strikeout for the second time today. Tolik strikes out 2 in the frame, works around the hit by pitch to lead off the inning. And after 5, a 3-run lead for the Red Sox. Jacob Meador back out to the rubber for the 6th, next on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. And Jacob Meador now still on the mound for Y-D. He's been extremely quality today for the Red Sox, and at the 11th hour we learned he was going to be the starting pitcher, but he's provided length this season for Y-D. Trying to tie the longest a Red Sox starter has gone all season, 6 innings. With no action in the bullpen, could likely be the case as he faces Matthew Hogan to begin the 6th here.
Now, Jacob Meador putting together the best performance of his Y-D career, and it comes on, 5 minutes notice. So that just shows you it's important to stay ready, and Meador has a chance to get 6 innings of 1-run ball here. That would really put an exclamation mark on this season for him.
And there's a great quote that says, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And Jacob Meador has stayed ready all season long for the Red Sox, being used a team-high 10th time today on the mound, his first start. And now he's gotten 1 out here in the 6th after Hogan grounds out to begin the frame.
Number 24, Joshua Rivera.
And what's impressive to me is that the 1 run coming on 1 home run to Lyle Miller Green, he's going to get his. But overall, Chatham's been kept off the base paths. And that's been a big deal. That's been the difference.
Joshua Rivera, he's been kept off the base paths. He's 0 for 2. Hitting here in the 6th with 1 out, nobody on. And a 4-1 Red Sox lead. Breaking ball tight and sharp for strike 2. CJ Culpepper getting hot in the bullpen. We were both able to see that his family was in attendance yesterday. CJ from Cal Baptist, coming all the way from California. A lot of players, of course, on this team from there. We've detailed that before, but that's kind of going coast to coast to be able to take in some baseball, and a lot of athletes doing that for the Red Sox this season, including CJ Culpepper. Jacob Meador, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Joshua Rivera, the lone all-star for the Chatham Anglers selected this season. 1 home run, 5 runs driven in, and hitting .247 headed into today's contest, and he's 0 for 2 with now a full count against Jacob Meador. 6 o'clock right now. Jacob Meador still on the mound here in the 6th. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Jacob Meador stays dialed in and now has 8 strikeouts with 2 away here in the 6th.
I just put a chokehold on your career high, why don't you? This is a different version of Jacob Meador, and again, working in front of counts, finding himself in front basically every time with 57 strikes thrown of his 87 pitches. It's on Chatham to work from behind, and it shows.
First pitch swinging is Maxwell Romero Jr. as he swings through a Jacob Meador breaking ball. But Jacob Meador headed into this outing, we said, okay, Jacob Meador has actually thrown the ball extremely effectively over his last 3 outings. And this outing's been no exception. He's really thrown the ball better the second half of the season in terms of his appearances. And it's showing today here with 2 outs in the 6th, nobody on. And he's still on the mound. Breaking ball taken for strike 2. So Jacob Meador eyeing his 9th strikeout. See if he can't do that. Maxwell Romero Jr., he's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And he grounds it to Brooksley at short. Should be routine. On to first in time. And Jacob Meador through 6 innings, just 1 run allowed in the middle of the 6th. It's a 4-1 lead for the Red Sox on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the sixth, a 4-1 advantage for Y-D, and Zach Liu hitting. How about Zach Liu? 2 for 2, a double and a single. His second consecutive day with a multi-hit affair. And 1 ball and 1 strike, but the lefty Adam Tolik working out of the bullpen. He's gone an inning and 2/3, but he's gotten 4 strikeouts. A swing and a miss by Zach Liu. And Tolik in jeopardy of getting his 5th strikeout. Up and away, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lou, Bowser, and Hunter scheduled to hit. Here in the 6th, they all reach base in the 2nd and all reach base in the 4th when the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters came up, but not going to be the case here in the 6th as Zach Liu is rung up for strike 3.
And all of the outs that Adam Tulloch has recorded but 1 coming on strikeouts.
The one that wasn't was a Cody Huff ground out, but through 2 scoreless no hits, 5 strikeouts for Adam Tulloch. His only blemish was a Tanner Smith hit by pitch, which was questionable to begin the 5th. Oh, and 1 pitch to Drew Bowser, taken for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bowser hitting, he's 1 for 1, walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. The 0-2. Taken strike 3. And Adam Tulloch completely locked in as he dials up another strikeout out of the bullpen. 2 outs here in the 6th.
That arm side fastball with the away run to Drew Bowser, and Bowser didn't think so. Might have been outside, but Damari cues that lawnmower.
And Adam Tulloch, the hard-throwing lefty from West Virginia. And for the Mountaineers, throws the ball effectively today, doing a lot of the same, but Chatham has seen the way he's thrown the baseball this year. It's just been so dominant as he quickly gets ahead 0-2 in the count. Here to Cade Hunter, throwing the ball 91 to 93 miles per hour today from the left side. And the 0-2 to Cade Hunter misses outside for ball 1. But Tulloch, his 8th appearance. He's originally from Weston, Florida, going to be a rising senior at WVU, and he rings up Cade Hunter. He strikes out the side in order, all looking in the bottom of the 6th. And Adam Tulloch locked in here at Red Wilson Field. 2 2/3 out of the bullpen, 7 strikeouts. But through 6, Y-D leads 4-1. A new arm on the mound next on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network.
Top of the 7th inning on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network, and the Red Sox leading 4-1 over the Anglers from Chatham in the last meeting of the year. And today is apparently Jacob Meador Day. 8 strikeouts, a career high for the TCU Horned Frog. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. It was on a Lyle Miller Green homer and only 1 walk. Meador wasn't even supposed to start today. Found out today at the ballpark that he was going to start in place of Luis Ramirez, and he passed with flying colors.
Flying colors. In the previous 9 times that Jacob Meador has pitched, it's been enter Jacob Meador. Now it's enter CJ Culpepper, but today he didn't have to enter. He started the game and gave Y-D another great start after Pat Gallagher did the same last night. The starting pitching has been very successful as of late. Overall, just the pitching in general, and CJ Culpepper looks to continue that.
CJ Culpepper, a 2.13 ERA. This is his 10th appearance, and still licking his wounds from his last outing, his worst of the year. Sharply hit ground ball off the bat of McLean and thrown over to first by the second baseman Huffman in time for the first out.
And Y-D thought they were going to use Ramirez and Culpepper today. Instead, Meador and Culpepper, but Meador does great. Culpepper, one of your best arms. On the other side for Chatham, they use Victor Medeiros and Adam Tolik. They're 1 and 2 overall arms. And Y-D having the advantage when the best of the best collide in terms of the team's best pitchers on their staff. And Adam Tolik certainly in that conversation, he's putting on a display despite Chatham losing by 3.
Yeah, Tulloch has been fantastic, and Lyle Miller Green grounds it to second. Huffman again, rinse and repeat for out number 2.
And CJ Culpepper's ability to keep the ball on the ground has been so impressive this season. He gets weak contact early in the count because of his ability to throw fastballs that move low in the zone. And to be able to dot up the catcher, that's how you can get groundouts and also strikeouts. He gets ahead in the count, he gets quick contact early, and this inning is just another piece of evidence to showcase why he's just such a dominant pitcher on the mound.
Didn't get too many ground balls in his last outing at Bourne. An inning and 2/3, 2 earned runs, but was on the mound for 5. 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, though. And that was by far his worst outing. Other than that, had given up just 1 run all year.
That was mainly...
That was against Chatham in a win, 2 1/3 at Veterans Field. A 4-3 win came on the Crew Robinson home run. And the 0-2. Fastball inside to the lefty Caden Trenkle, a junior from Oklahoma State. 0 for 1 on the day. Drew a walk on 5 pitches his last time up in the 5th.
And CJ Culpepper, a name, been very good. Last outing was just an outlier.
Trenkle drives it to right field, and that's down for a single. Chase Luttrell plays it on a hop, a 2-out single for Caden Trenkle in the top of the 7th inning.
And what I mean by it being an outlier is that's not typically how he's thrown the ball. It wasn't really indicative of how successful the Cape League All-Star has been this season.
Well, if you want a metric to prove that, first of all, CJ Culpepper, his first 4 outings as he throws over to first and gets Caden Trenkle. Trenkle with his weight going to second, and CJ Culpepper saw him in his periphery. That retires the side. And Culpepper, to celebrate, leaps over the third base line in a hurry to get those high fives at the Y-D dugout. CJ Culpepper faces the minimum in the 7th inning. 2 groundouts, a single, and a pickoff for the All-Star. And Y-D on top 4-1. Stretch time at the Red here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, Y-D 4, Chatham 1 on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. And it's the Adam Tulloch Show right now. 7 strikeouts for the lefty from West Virginia of the 8 outs recorded in relief of Victor Meador, who gave up all 4 runs. Pat Caulfield from UCLA takes the first pitch fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Now, if you're curious, Tulloch's career record on the Cape for strikeouts is 8. And in the collegiate ranks, it's 10 for West Virginia. And a waving Caulfield quickly behind 0-2. The only exception to his strikeout streak is a ground out that Cody Huff hit into to first. And now Pat Caulfield, the 0-2, goes down swinging on the twirl. 3 pitches, 1 out. Pat Caulfield is retired. That's strikeout number 8 for Adam Tulloch.
And other than when Trey Dombrowski struck out 10 out of the bullpen in 4 innings, this is the most dominant we have seen a pitcher against the Red Sox all season long. Would you agree? Other than the Dombrowski 10 strikeout game?
Yeah, probably. You had Tristan Vreeling go 4 perfect in relief for Bourne. So that's in contention as well. Wyatt Hoffman's 1-0 swing is tardy. Count even at 1-1 with 1 out, no one on, and Y-D up by 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Wyatt Hoffman 0 for 3 on the day, 2 strikeouts. The last one coming from Adam Tulloch, retired the side in the 4th. And that was way back when, in the 4th inning, Tulloch came in to relieve Victor Meador. That was only the 2nd strikeout for the lefty. And the 2-1 to Hoffman, fouled off the mask of Maxwell Romero Jr.
And there's been other pitchers that have had success, but when we look at the stuff that he has, it's in that Vreeling territory, in that territory of Dombrowski. He's been really nasty, but it's a big reason why he's been one of the better pitchers in the league this year.
That's number 9. Adam Tulloch dials it up and whizzes it past the waving bat of Wyatt Hoffman. 9 strikeouts for the southpaw.
And that's out of the bullpen, and Y-D, I mean, don't you think they're glad that he didn't start this game? Because I don't think he would have ever got pulled at this point.
Victor Meador was scraped for 4. Adam Tulloch has been nothing short of phenomenal. The only thing standing between him and an otherwise perfect outing, a hit by pitch to this man, Tanner Smith, who grounds it slowly right side foul. By about an inch, Nolan McLean thought it was fair and tried to flip it for a covering Tulloch. But Adam Tulloch, no hit innings galore, 3 1/3, 35 strikes thrown, only 8 balls. The command up the wazoo. No balls and 2 strikes to Tanner Smith.
That's how you get strikeouts. You throw a lot of strikes, and he's doing that today at a very high level.
The 0-2, swung on, driven foul left side.
There's so many guys with good stuff, but they can't put up high strikeout numbers because you can't strike out a hitter unless you have 2 strikes on him. And Adam Tulloch is spotting up, landing the breaking ball today, and Y-D is way off balance. He's really locked in on the mound right now.
Fastball high, trying to chase or get Tanner Smith to chase.
But even right there, competitive pitch. He wanted to go upstairs there and try to get him to chase. It's a purpose-driven pitch right there.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled back. Now Tanner Smith, not necessarily considered a big strikeout threat. 19 strikeouts on the year to 9 walks. But a .259 hitter for Y-D. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the pitch, taken upstairs again.
And Tanner Smith, he's putting together a good at-bat. His plate appearances have been great today. A walk in the 1st, a single in the 3rd, and reached on a hit by pitch in the 5th. On an 8-game hitting streak, he's really seeing the ball well right now, trying to get off Tulloch.
The 2-2 driven to deep right field, chasing back Matt Hogan on the track at the wall. It's gone! Tanner Smith with his 4th home run of the year puts Y-D up 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. The first time Adam Tulloch shows signs of humanity. And Tanner Smith proves he is not perfect. The hit by pitch of Tanner Smith in the 5th, the home run in the 7th, the only 2 blemishes for the southpaw from West Virginia. And Tanner Smith is his 21st RBI of the season.
He does it with 2 strikes in the count as well, going to right field.
Here's a slowly hit ground ball left side. Brooks Lee bustling down the first base line. A low throw by Joshua Rivera puts Brooks Lee on first base with 2 outs. Now Lee runs pretty well. We'll see what they rule this, but Rivera had to rush the throw knowing that Lee runs well. Regardless of the ruling, it's a 2-out base runner for Cody Huff. Y-D is no stranger to 2-out rallies. It, by the way, is an infield single for Brooks Lee. So that's his 2nd hit of the day. After the 2-run home run to dead center field in the 3rd inning off of Victor Medeiros.
It's his 4th straight multi-hit game as well.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cody Huff, and Brooks Lee continuing to rake. Unbelievable showing for him.
His 5th multi-hit game during his now 8-game hitting streak.
He's 2 for 4 on the day. That makes him 18 for his last 33. The hottest hitter on the collegiate scene. The 2-1 to Huff. Swung on and missed on the changeup low in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner on first base. And the Red Sox putting a chokehold on the lead up 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Second to last game at Red Wilson Field this year. And the last meeting against the Anglers. Huff thinks better of the fastball outside. The count is full. Brooks Lee will have a head start with 2 outs.
You mentioned 18 for 33, which is incredible, but also has 4 doubles during that stretch and also 3 home runs.
Huff is 0 for 3 today and draws the 2-out walk. The first time he's on base and 3 consecutive base runners for Y-D. A home run, an infield single, and a walk put runners on first and second. 2 outs for Chase Luttrell. And Luttrell had hits against lefties, against Hyannis in each of the 2 Hyannis games that Y-D played in the home and home. And now a mound visit. Adam Tulloch wants to have a word with his catcher Maxwell Romero and Tom Holliday. So 2 outs, runners on first and second for Chase Luttrell. Chance to break this game wide open against the lefty. And as I mentioned before, otherwise typically would be a tough matchup for Luttrell, but he's really found his groove. Against the lefties, Luttrell now hitting 182. And we'll take a trip around the CCBL. Hyannis falls 4-0 in a 4 o'clock start at Brewster. Falmouth and Wareham just about set to get started. At 7 o'clock, Orleans will host Harwich. And a 1-0 lead for Bourne as they host Cotuit in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 5-1 the Red Sox lead in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, runners on first and second for Chase Luttrell. It's Huff on first and Lee with plenty of speed in scoring position. Luttrell lines it foul. Down the 3rd base line by about 3 feet.
Yeah, Brad, to add on to that scoreboard update, the Harbor Hawks losing their 5th game in a row today, 4-0 loss to Brewster.
No balls and a strike to Luttrell. Change up on the outside corner. Chase Luttrell leads the team in strikeouts. 13 of them coming against the lefties. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Tulloch. Fastball poked left center field. That gets down for a base hit. Lee comes around to score. There will be no throw home. A 2-out RBI single for Chase Luttrell, and Y-D leads 7-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's his 4th knock over the past 3 games against lefties, and that seemed like it was the sole weakness in his game. You talk about, hey, he wants to get better against lefties, was Long Beach State's best hitter. He's seeing the lefties well, and it was nice getting to talk with his coach, Eric Valenzuela. He said, hey, getting those at-bats against lefties, that's what we want. We want him to get more comfortable and work on those things and bring him back to school, and he's really found his groove over the past 3 games against the southpaw.
Now it's Zach Liu's turn, lifts it to right center field. Under it is Trinkle to make the catch from center field, side retired. But Y-D adds 2 more. The Red Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2 left on. At the end of 7, the Red Sox leading 6-1 right here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Back here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network, top of the 8th inning, the Red Sox leading 6-1, and C.J. Culpepper on for his 2nd inning of work. Taking over for Jacob Meador, only needed 7 pitches to get 3 outs. Certainly helps that he got the pickoff of the once singled Caden Trinkle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kenny Lavari, the 3rd baseman, 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. And Lavari chops it left side. Zach Liu picks it out of the dirt and throws on the run in time for the 1st out.
Y-D with just 1 run allowed today. Last night the pitching was great. Only 6 runs now over the last 4 games when you include today's contest, as it's headed down to the closing time of the game. C.J. Culpepper on the mound and pitching the ball very effectively here in the top of the 8th.
Well, it started with Jacob Meador, 6 innings of 1-run ball. 1 run coming on the Lyle Miller Green homer. And that homer 1 of 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, but 8 strikeouts, a career high. Quickly behind 0-2, a free swinging Jake DeLeo, the left fielder, who's reached base twice today, once on a fielder's choice and once on a single. Now that set the tone for C.J. Culpepper. And the 0-2, taken in the dirt. A fastball was spiked, and Cade Hunter wants to have a word. No action in the Red Sox bullpen. Looks like Scott Pickler might want to ride Culpepper for a few innings. If not the rest of the game, we've seen him go plenty of innings, and with the season winding down, might as well get what you can. There's another strikeout. The first of the day for C.J. Culpepper, the 9th for Y-D pitching. 2 away as Jake DeLeo was tied up like a pretzel. Here's the top of the order, though. In the top of the 8th inning, with Chatham needing some ground to cover, down by 5, it's Danny Soretti. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, a pop out and a strikeout though, to cap off his day. 1 ball and no strikes. And the Cal Baptist product delivers a changeup high, same spot. Now, like you mentioned, his family in town, and Culpepper, one of many Red Sox who have some family members here to cheer them on with the home stretch of the season.
And not just their blood family, but also their host families.
Host family day at the Red.
In attendance, being appreciated today. And
2 balls and 2 strikes on the swing and a miss by Soretti. Danny Soretti, switch hitter from UNC. Here's the 2-2. Slider is taken, strike 3 called. The 2nd consecutive strikeout for C.J. Culpepper. He's faced the minimum through 2 innings of relief, and Y-D leads 6-1 in the middle of the 8th, right here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Now the good news for Y-D, they lead 6-1. The even better news, Adam Tulloch's day is done. The lefty from West Virginia shined in relief of Victor Medeiros, and Drew Bowser pops it up right side out of play on the first pitch thrown by David Falco.
Yeah, he did shine until that last frame when Y-D was able to score 2 runs.
Tanner Smith with the homer, and then an RBI single for Chase Luttrell drove Brooks Lee in. A 3 2/3, 2 runs, 3 hits, more importantly, 9 strikeouts for Adam Tulloch, Cape record for the lefty. And Drew Bowser quickly behind 0-2 to the 6'4", 240-pound sophomore, David Falco.
Yeah, you had to mention the dimensions, but you'd say, okay, He's pretty big, but he isn't Chatham's biggest pitcher.
Well, he's certainly big enough. The average size of an NFL
Yes.
tight end, 6'3", 240 pounds. So Falco has an inch on the Y's and X's of the world.
But how about the Georgia Tech? 6'7", 275 pounds.
And not
You
the
got
biggest
that
pitcher
right.
on Cape either.
No, 6'7", 275, Zachary Maxwell. He's hanging out in Chatham's bullpen. Maybe we see him tonight.
Here's the 2-2 to Bowser. Poked foul, right side.
He's not the biggest pitcher in the league, though. That's the stretch 5 from Bourne, right?
Yeah, they have some bodies over there. Absolute unit to the west. But if you want to bring in the other guy, the other big fella, you're just trying to break a record at that point. Here's the 2-2 to Bowser. Swung on and missed. Down goes Bowser for out number 1.
And you're thinking of Kankakee's Tyler Stewart.
Yeah.
6'9", 240.
That's who Y-D saw the other night. And Stewart hasn't even had that great of an NCAA career, but when you're gifted that frame, the ability is there. That's a wet ball of clay that Cape coaches are just licking their chops to get a hold of, and he's done well on Cape.
Yeah, he has. 3 2/3 scoreless so far.
Fly ball, foul territory off the bat of Cade Hunter. It bounces on the rubber in the Y-D bullpen for a loud first strike. Cade Hunter struck out looking in the 6th inning. Then again, who didn't? That was when Tulloch was really rolling. Had an RBI double his first time up in the 2nd. And this is really just the new version of Cade Hunter. Has really come on with a fundamental switch, a mechanical switch, that is, that he made courtesy of the Y-D coaches. And the ability has always been there. Hitting 140 on the season for the Red Sox. And that comes after what was basically a season-long slump. In the scrimmages, was widely regarded as the best hitter that Y-D had. Then the season started, and that just didn't happen. 2 balls and a strike to the lefty from Virginia Tech. But there was a stretch there between June 29th and July 21st where he just got 1 hit. And it was ugly. Here's the 2-1 to Hunter. Outside, scooped up by Romero, glove side. 3 balls, 1 strike. With the shadows really plaguing the infield now. And Cade Hunter still with some sun, eye level. So we'll see how the visibility plays on the 6'4" behemoth. Here's Falco's pitch outside. Ball 4. A 5-pitch walk for Cade Hunter. The second time he's drawn a free pass. And a 1-out base runner on the bottom of the 8th for Y-D as they lead by 5. Briley Knight comes in for Pat Caulfield as a pinch hitter. So Caulfield's day is done, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Now Briley Knight, though, the Chatham killer, checked his swing and takes the inside fastball for strike 1. This is the guy that Chatham just does not want to see. Earlier in the season, had 3 RBIs in a game against the Anglers, and he lines one into center field, a base hit. A 1-out single for Briley Knight puts runners on first and second for the top of the order, Wyatt Hoffman.
And he continues to swing the bat well against Chatham. He's been really good this year just against Chatham overall. And he continues to do just that.
1-out runners on first and second. And you're not lying. Briley Knight against the Anglers, that's what nightmares are made of. Hitting .231. But he has 4 RBIs against the Anglers, tied for the team record against Chatham. No balls and a strike, 1 out. And the thing is, .231 doesn't sound great, but when you compare it to the way he's hit against everyone else, there's really no comparison. Hitting .153 on the season. The 0-1 to Hoffman. Popped up right side of the outfield. Matt Hogan, the right fielder, makes the catch, and tagging up from second is Cade Hunter. He runs well and dives into third on the tag. So a fly out for Wyatt Hoffman moves Cade Hunter from second to third, 90 feet closer. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Tanner Smith. Smith homered his last time up in the 7th. Has reached base all 4 times he's come up. 2 free passes, a hit by pitch in the 5th, a walk in the 1st, a single in the 3rd, and then the long ball. College Park Falco deals a first pitch fastball, popped up, foul ground. The third baseman Lavari on for a look, but it's down, a foul ball. Now Lavari was probably the closest one to that fly ball, even though he had probably the farthest path between the shortstop Rivera and the left fielder Jake DeLeo. So it's no balls and a peculiar strike to Tanner Smith. David Falco coming into this contest with a 5.4 ERA. And Tanner Smith lines it down the left field line. It's a base hit. Cade Hunter comes around to score. Briley Knight turns on the burners. He will score as well. It's a 2-run double for Tanner Smith. And Y-D leads 8-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Tanner Smith continues to etch himself atop the Y-D RBI leaderboard, and this is the best we've seen Tanner Smith swing the bat all season long, bringing out that Oregon All-American in him on an 8-game hitting streak. That's his 3rd hit of the day and his 5th extra base hit during this 8-game hitting streak. Overall, his 6th double of the season, and grabs another run driven in.
And it's the 5th time Tanner Smith has been on base today. As Brooks Lee, the switch hitter, pops it foul left side. You can make the argument that this is the 2nd best game that Tanner Smith has had 2 home runs, 4 RBIs here at Red Wilson Field on a 3-for-4 day against Orleans.
Well, it's his 3rd time with 3 hits in a game. But during this 8-game hitting streak, he's just been on fire.
And the 1-1 to Lee. Checked his swing, went around 75%. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tanner Smith on second base after his 2-run double to drive Cade Hunter and Briley Knight home.
13 runs driven in for Tanner Smith now during this 8-game hitting streak.
And Brooks Lee is rung up. Fastball looked like it might have been outside. Brooks Lee didn't put up a fuss. That retires the side, but not before Tanner Smith drives in 2 more runs. 8-1, Y-D leads at the end of 8, right here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. CJ Culpepper, the Sandman, enters to finish it off Up by 7, 8-1 the Red Sox lead, and Matt Hogan, a right fielder, takes the first pitch fastball, strike one. Briley Knight in center field for Y-D. He came on as a sub, a pinch hitter for Pat Caulfield. 1 ball, 1 strike to Matt Hogan, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Culpepper came in. This is his 3rd inning, and a chopped foul breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes still, but came in to replace Jacob Meador, who had himself a day. Breakout performance for the righty from TCU. 6 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts. Career high for the Horned Frog. The 1-2 from Culpepper. Nubber right back to Culpepper. He fields it with 2 hands and lofts it to first in time for the first out. So the Anglers down to their final 2, and Joshua Rivera digs in 0 for 3 on the day for the shortstop.
Yeah, C.J. Culpepper backing up Jacob Meador. And it's similar to the way that Pat Gallagher was backed up in yesterday's 9-2 victory when Gallagher went 3, and then Owen Stevenson picked up a 3-inning save, going 3 shutout. And C.J. Culpepper throwing the final 3 innings of this one. He's trying to pick up a save out of the bullpen.
The 1-0 line drive left center field. It's down for a 1-out single. Joshua Rivera on base for the first time today, and C.J. Culpepper allows his 2nd hit of the day.
If he is able to get these next 2 outs, it would be his 4th save of the season.
That's not necessarily a save situation here.
Throwing the final 3 innings, though, when the team has the lead, does in fact
right.
give you a save, just like Owen Stevenson did last night.
The Red Sox on the brink of winning 4 straight, as that one is lifted to left center field. And there to make the catch, Briley Knight for the 2nd out. So Maxwell Romero putting a jolt into that one to the warning track. That just kept on carrying. A runner on first, 2 outs for Nolan McLean. First baseman from Oklahoma State, a sophomore, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Slider on the outside corner. Now the Red Sox certainly offensively doing their part with a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. The only run of the day for Chatham coming on a Lyle Miller Green homer off of Jacob Meador. Came in the 2nd inning. But since then, 8 unanswered for Y-D. Here's the 0-2. Fastball taken high. Nolan McLean has already struck out twice. It's his 3rd multi-strikeout game and just his 7th game played for the Anglers. The 1-2 from Culpepper. Upstairs and inside. Slider never slid. Y-D playing some of their best baseball of the year over the past few games. Here's the 2-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? He did not. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That means that the runner on first, Joshua Rivera, will have a head start with 2 outs. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him on the changeup. And for the first time all season, Y-D has won 4 in a row.
And they've now outscored opponents 34-6 over the past 4 games, playing their best baseball of the year.
8-1 your final. The Red Sox shaking hands. They take 2 from Hyannis. And after that, take 1 against Chatham. Before all that, it was a win on the road against Orleans. That's how Scott Pickler and the Y-D Red Sox win 4 in a row. And even though they're mathematically eliminated from the CCBL playoffs, well, playing some of their best baseball at the end of the year, that's almost all you can ask for in a full season.
You want to make your best game your last game. If you're a player, if you're a coach, or anyone with any vested interest in a team, you want to make sure your best game is your last game. And typically, obviously, you want your last game to be a championship game, to be a postseason game, but this isn't going to be the case for Y-D with 2 games left. They want to finish the year strong and cap off what's been a fun, memorable summer for the Y-D Red Sox.
What's been memorable about this game, Jacob Meador and his 8 strikeouts in a spot start. 6 innings pitched. He wasn't expecting to start today, maybe not even pitch today. Luis Ramirez was the probable and was scratched pretty much a few minutes before the first pitch due to some arm soreness. Doesn't look like it's anything particularly major, but Jacob Meador stepping up in a major way.
Yeah, he stepped up in a major way. The pitching dominated. Meador dominated, and then CJ Culpepper did much of the same. And that's why the game only lasted 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was a great pitching tool. Y-D put up runs in a hurry, and they come out with another lopsided victory.
Also 2 home runs for the Red Sox to enjoy. One coming from Tanner Smith and the other from Brooks Lee. Unbelievable performance offensively and defensively. Maybe the most complete game that Y-D has played all season.
They've been playing well the last 4 games, and this one in the books now. Y-D with the winner.
Y-D with the winner. Jacob Meador is the winning pitcher. Victor Medeiros takes the loss. The final line, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. And for Chatham, only 1 run coming on the Lyle Miller Green homer and 6 hits, no defensive blemishes. That'll do it from Red Wilson Field. We'll be back at it again tomorrow at 4:30 as Y-D visits Cotuit, the last road game of the season, second to last game, penultimate performance for the Red Sox. Join us at around 4:20 for the pregame show right here on the Y-D Red Sox Baseball Network. But for now, Will Connolly and Brad Klein signing off from Red Wilson Field.